This is our January 15th Bowling Green, Warren County Planning Commission meeting, and appreciate everybody being here tonight. Mr. Ben, would you call the roll, please?
Yes, sir.
Here.
Commissioner Drain, Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Graham, Commissioner Ritchie,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Stark,
Present.
Commissioner Chipmore,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. Commissioners, you have the meetings from our minutes, from our meeting of December 18th. Are there any questions? Hearing none, we call for a motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Tessa,
Abstain.
Commissioner Sissel,
Abstain.
Commissioner Gay,
Abstain.
Commissioner Ritchie,
Abstain.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Stark,
Yes.
Commissioner Chipmore,
Abstain.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. Commissioners, you had the subdivision and site development plans in your packets. Are there any questions? Hearing none, then they will be approved as submitted. We enter into our new business. Megan, for our financial report.
All right, good evening, everybody. I've got a quick budget update for you guys for the first half of the year. So we finished Q1 and Q2. And again, the easiest way for us to take a look to see if we're on track is to look to the year-to-date percentage of budget column. So we're going to start off with our income first. If you scroll down, you'll see our total income. We're at 47.8%. Would like to be right around the 50% mark, so we're doing great there. The only thing I want to point out to you guys, transit planning funds are down considerably. Two reasons for this. In years past, you'll remember, we get most of that income in our third and our fourth quarter. So we're lagging a little bit behind there. There's also a project that we had budgeted for this year that is probably going to get pushed to next year. So our income's going to be less, but don't worry about that because our expenses will also be less for that as well. So that's got everything on the first page that I wanted to point out to you guys. If we turn over to the second page, we're going to go over expenses really quick. Scrolling through there, everything looks on target with the exception of MPO. You guys will notice that we're at 26.5%. We would like to be closer to 50%, but again, I think we're going to have a project that's going to get pushed to next fiscal year. We'll end up doing a budget amendment if that's the case towards the end of the year. And if we look down closer to the bottom at total expenditures, we're at 45.9%. We would like to be at 50% or below, so we're pretty much right on target for that as well. That's all the updates I've got for everybody. Can I answer any questions?
So Megan, these first 6 months, $722,000 in checking account, or in our reserves, 702, so we're on track.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Commissioners, any other questions for Megan? This is for information only, or do we need to? Sir? Okay. So Commissioners, you've heard Megan's report. We call for a motion to approve.
So move. Second.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Ritchie,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Stark,
Yes.
Commissioner Chipmore,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Tessa,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Sissel,
Yes.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion is approved. Megan, thank you for all you do behind the scenes each and every day. Under new business, item number 2 is letter and credit performance bonds. Are there any questions? We don't need a motion. Golly, Ben. All right,
So moved. Second.
thank you.
Me.
Commissioner Booker,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Cassett,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Sisson,
Yes.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Ritchie,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Stark,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Stark,
Yes.
Commissioner Tidwell,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion approved for the credit and performance bonds. Is there any old business, Ben? Okay. Hamp, we enter into our public hearing. If you would call her, Mr. Moore, if you'd call everybody into session here.
I request that you order that the record tonight include the relevant statutory and regulatory provisions that rely on the Commission's entire file for each of the 10 applications on tonight's docket, and the qualifications of each of the staff witnesses. Finally, I request that you administer the oath to each of those witnesses, and that can be done without vote.
Whoa. We've messed up tonight. Do you all swear to tell the truth without a vote? Thank you. Well, we've had to change a few things tonight. All right, our first public hearing tonight is 2026-01 Flume Build to Suit LLC, care of Matthew Tabor, is filing an application for a future land use map amendment for .02 acres located at 204 Woodward Avenue for moderate density residential to mixed use residential. Rachel?
Yes, sir. Bear with me here. Just changing over to the PowerPoint here. All right. We had a pre-application meeting back in October for the property at 209 Woodford Avenue, and the applicants are applying to amend the future land use map from moderate density residential to mixed use residential. And if the future land use map amendment is successful, they would like to rezone this same area to RM4 at a later meeting in order to develop a duplex on the property. And a concurrent variance application would also be needed to accommodate the proposed duplex as it encroaches into the required 25-foot building setback adjacent to a single family use. This is the current aerial view of the property. It is vacant. The current zoning is neighborhood business. Current land use, as I mentioned, is vacant. And then the future land use designation currently is moderate density residential. And again, the request is to amend the future land use map to mixed use residential, which is that brown color on the map that you'll see just on the south side of Stebbins. We have some property photos that we can reference as needed. And then we'll leave up the concept plan as we go through the rest of the staff report. In our review, we did find that the application complied with a majority of the applicable review criteria outlined in LU 114 and found the proposal to be generally compatible with the surrounding area. We do have a couple of items for your consideration, and those are going to be found on page 4. The first item under layout, lot sizes, and setbacks. As I mentioned, the applicant hopes to develop this property with a duplex. Setbacks would generally adhere to the requirements in the RM4 zone with the exception of the building setback. And if you're looking at the concept plan, it would be on the right-hand side along that right property line. The building setback is typically 25 feet, and if this were to move forward, they would have to request a variance for that. And then the second item for your consideration is on page 5. You'll find that under landscaping and screening. And the staff is just noting that landscaping and screening is not required for the proposed duplex because the applicant is only proposing to utilize driveways. However, because of the variance request, the staff suggested that the applicant consider offering landscaping along the northwest property line adjacent to the single-family use. And the applicant indicated that this may need to be considered as a part of the zone change and variance request if this were to move forward, as there is only 2.6 feet between the driveway and the property line, but the applicant did indicate that they are willing to discuss alternative options to landscaping if the board desires. So those are the couple of items that I wanted to point out. But other than that, if you go back to page 1, the staff's recommendation is for approval pending public hearing testimony and discussion. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Hurt. Commissioners, any questions for staff? Okay. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you.
Is the applicant here or the representative, anything you would like to add? Anything you would like to add, sir? Okay. Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience tonight that has a question or opposition to this request?
So Rachel, they'll have to come back and ask for the variance, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes,
and that's
they'll-
when we can discuss the landscaping and stuff.
Yeah, they'll
Okay.
have to apply for a zone change and a variance.
Perfect.
This is a flume amendment only.
Perfect.
Thank you, Christian. All right. So commissioners would ask for a motion on this flume amendment, please.
I make the motion to approve the proposed future land use map amendment docket number 202601 Flume. Based on the testimonies and documents presented at the public hearing, the proposed Flume amendment has met the criteria to amend the Flume as outlined in LU 114 in the comprehensive plan. Further, I request this motion include the summary of evidence and testimonies presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Cassada,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Sissel,
Yes.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Ritchie,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Titmore,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion is approved, Planning Commission final action, and this was a flume amendment, and they will come back with a detailed plan. Our next item tonight is 2026-01 DP, Intermodal Transportation Authority Incorporated has filed an application to amend the General Development Plan conditions for 87.47 acres located along Prosperity Lane, Veterans Way, and Production Avenue. The property subject to this application is zoned highway, heavy industrial, and Rachel, you're back up.
Thank you, Chair Warren. We had a pre-application meeting back in December for multiple properties located within the Trans Park. If you draw your attention to the red boundary, that's what's under your consideration this evening. The area in question was rezoned to heavy industrial back in 2018, and the current land uses are varied between ag, multifamily residential, vacant, and industrial. And the future land use designation is industrial. We have some property photos of the area that we can reference as needed. And then with that, let's see, that was part of the original approval. I'm going to leave up the concept plan for Lot 2-1. The reason being is that the requested changes pertain specifically to Lot 2-1, and these deal with required landscape buffers, open space requirements, reducing the amount of required interior landscaping, and eliminating the required 150-foot increased building setback when located adjacent to a residential use. And these changes are all detailed on page 3 of your staff report, also leading on to page 4. And those changes are shown as underlined and bold font. We can go over those in detail as needed. And then on page 4 of your staff report, we have the zoning ordinance requirements in order to amend a development plan. Section 312.8 of the zoning ordinance outlines those requirements. And then on page 5, about midway down the page, is the applicant supplied narrative to help address those findings. Looking back on page 1, we did find that the proposal complies with some of the criteria reviewed in the process, and the Planning Commission should determine if the proposed amendment remains consistent with the comprehensive plan and if it's compatible with the surrounding area. We do have a few items of consideration listed at the bottom of page 1. I'm going to touch on those here quickly, and the first of those is on page 2, under layout, lot sizes, and setbacks, where you have noted that a new building is proposed on Lot 2-1, as shown on this site plan, and the current development plan requires that any principal building be located at least 150 feet from a residential use. And the proposed development plan eliminates the increased setback requirements for Lot 2-1. Instead, the applicants would like to defer to the zoning ordinance requirement, which is a 50-foot building setback when located adjacent to a residential use. Then jumping down to landscaping and screening, the current development plan requires a 50-foot perimeter landscape buffer along the northern and eastern property lines, and the proposed amendment eliminates this requirement for Lot 2-1 and instead proposes a 25-foot landscape buffer along the northern and western boundaries, with a requirement that plantings be included at 1.5 times the rate required in the zoning ordinance. The current development plan also requires all parking areas to be landscaped with at least 10% green space and landscaped islands, and the applicants are proposing to reduce this requirement to 5% for Lot 2-1. And then looking back on page 1 of the staff report, the staff has recommended approval pending public hearing testimony and discussion. Be happy to answer any questions.
So, Commissioners, any questions? I have one, but anybody else have one?
Yeah, Rachel?
Yeah.
What is the reasoning again on eliminating the 150-foot increased building setback?
Sure. So if we go back to the land use map, you'll see here, this red designation here is for multifamily. That is the location of the new Veterans Center.
So that's the Veteran Center.
So that's the
why it's called
residential use.
residential.
Yes. So
Correct.
that's our
That's-
residential use, and the applicants have indicated that based on their current plan that they cannot meet that for Lot 2-1, and they are requesting to reduce it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir?
Commissioners, any other questions regarding the variance and the setback landscaping? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Is the applicant here or the representative? Yes, sir. If anything you would like to add?
Gaines Penn, 1101 College Street, Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Can you swear to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
I would just point out to the commission that this property was rezoned back in 2018. It's 87.47 acres is the whole area that's subject to this development plan. Rachel did a good job outlining what we're trying to do, but I just want to emphasize, only changes being made are to this remaining 12-acre tract. We've already subdivided this 87-something acres several times, and that's the only part left. We've got it under contract. ACES has done the engineering work, and the only way we can make this building work on this plant, on this piece of property, is to reduce that building setback line, primarily on the western edge of it, which everybody, it's been noted, is on the adjoining property owner is the VA nursing facility, which what that drawing doesn't show is as you go onto the VA's property, that first expanse, several hundred feet, there's a retention basin there. And it's like even if the VA doubles the size of its current facility, we're still like 400 and something feet away from that building. I just point that out.
And Gaines, just what is they ask for the less landscaping?
Oh, well, the current development plan conditions call for a 50-foot perimeter buffer around that northern edge and the eastern edge. As a practical matter, the eastern edge is not in play because there's a road there anyway.
Okay.
The northern edge is adjoins the property, and if you get into the details of this concept plan, it will show you that there's proposed expansion of that building, and if that happens, then you've got to have enough parking or enough driveway space for the trucks to get in and out. And if you do that, you're into that 50-foot barrier. That's why we're asking that.
Understand.
Thank you, Mr. Penn.
Yes, sir.
Commissioners, any other questions for Mr. Penn? All right, thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
Is there anyone in the audience tonight has a question or opposition to this request? Yes, sir. If you would come to the microphone, please. State your name and address, please, sir.
My name is Jason Gump.
Okay, Jason.
I am the
What's your address, please, sir?
815 Meadowlark Drive in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And
Okay.
I am the administrator, executive director of the Robert E. Spiller Bowling Green Veterans Center that's next door to the 2.1 lot, if that's the correct terminology. And I am here just really to get more information. To be honest, I think I might be a little late to the game with everything that's going on, but I did want to come. I did want to understand more about what this development would do, because obviously I'm here kind of as a representative for the veterans that will eventually occupy that space. Now,
So Jason, do you work for the veterans or just,
I am the administrator for that building.
okay, all right, thank you.
So
Yeah.
I would be the chief executive at that location.
Jason, I'm gonna guess that they will probably not let us know exactly what's going there yet, or maybe they will.
I am not opposed to, I'm not opposed to any reasonable development there, obviously, the Trans Park and everything. What I would like to discuss is the possibility of some natural barriers being put up along that drainage tile area that was discussed. And I don't know that this is the forum for that, obviously. It was important for me to be here to understand what's going to go on, how that might impact our facility and impact the veterans that live there. So really, that's why I'm here more than anything. So I'm not trying to, obviously, I'm not trying to derail anything or anything at this
Sure.
point. So-
Yes, sir. Well, thank you for being here. And Rachel, would you maybe address what you had talked about earlier in your staff report, Jason?
Is it on? Okay, there we go. Now, the applicant may need to address the use question. Sometimes at this stage, they know the use. We've got the concept plan. There's a name on the concept plan, so they may have more information about how the property is going to function. But as far as the landscaping, they have proposed a buffer. And let me find that page. That is along the western property line. Let's see. And then typically, when you have industrial development that's adjacent to residential development, the zoning ordinance requires 6 evergreen trees and 3 deciduous trees per 100 linear feet of buffer. And they are proposing to plant that at a rate of 1.5 times that standard requirement. So that's what they're proposing. I don't know if that's what you all had in mind, or that might be some further discussion to have with the applicants here this evening.
Okay. All right.
Jason, I
So-
have a question.
Sure.
Go ahead, Rick. Yeah.
Is your concern related to the buffer more related to aesthetics or to something else?
Probably on multiple fronts. Obviously, the veterans that we serve, depending upon their individual situation, there may be situations. So noise and that sort of thing could become an issue, but I don't know what the use is, so it's hard to speak on that. But right now, we are, the 60 beds are on, the community center is in the middle of the property, and the 60 beds is on the, and I'm not good with the direction, but I think it's the east
West.
side. Is that right? The east side. The future expansion, that's a little bit of concern. If and when we were to expand, then it would be on that side, closer to the property line. So, but of course, it's hard to you're just, trying to guess as to whether or not that's going to happen or not. But currently, as we're sitting, there's enough space based upon what you are proposing. But, yeah, just the overall situation with the veterans and those people being in that care situation and possibly having some PTSD or whatever that might be affecting them, and what goes in there and how that might impact them. Again, don't know what that might look like, but that's obviously a concern for me.
But Jason, I think you heard the staff say it's 1.5 times what is required. Is that right, Rachel? What has been the plantings?
Yeah, they've agreed to plant the buffer at 1.5 times what is typically required.
Yeah.
And it sounds like if what you were reading per 100, did you say it per 100?
Per 100.
Per 100 linear
Yeah.
feet, so if we
So-
go back to the exhibit.
79, yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds reasonable
Okay.
to me, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
And thank you for serving our veterans.
Oh, well, it's been an honor, and it's a blessing really for our community to have
Yes, sir.
that there, so thank you all.
Thank you very much, sir. Is there anyone else that has a question regarding this proposal tonight? Mr. Penn, anything else to add?
Mr. Gunn, I wanted to address your concern.
Come up to the microphone, Gaines,
I wanted
please.
to address Mr. Gunn's concern about the proposed use. Just basically, it's going to be a manufacturing facility that's going to be like many of the other facilities in the Trans Park. They're great big buildings, but when you drive around them, they're pretty quiet. So,
Okay.
and the other part is the part that faces the Veterans Facility will be the side of the building, and all of the parking and loading docks and stuff will not be facing your facility. Okay?
All right. Thank you, Gaines. Anybody else tonight? Thank you, Gaines. Thank you, Mr. Gunn, for being here tonight. And Commissioners would call for a motion, please.
I make a motion to approve the proposed general development plan amendment, docket number 2026-1DP, based upon the testimony of the documents presented in this public hearing. Proposed general development plan amendments consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with objective and action items in the staff report. Further, also find that there have been major changes in economic, physical, or social nature within the area of the property in question, and I request that the findings of fact and recommendation include a summary of evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion is approved and is Planning Commission final action. Our next item tonight is 2026-01ZSG, Three Boys Property LLC, care of Amber Murray and Richard Shannon Dole, have filed an application to zone .38 acres located at 131 and 133 North Main Street in Smiths Grove from general business. And this will be our 4 county commissioners, Starks, Volkert, and Ms. Ritchie. Jenny?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a pre-application meeting for this property on North Main Street back in September. Current zoning of the property is general business. Current land use is commercial. And then the future land use map designation is also commercial. So then here are some photos, a little drive-by, if you will, of the property. And then here is their rezoning exhibit, just for your reference. So the applicants are proposing to rezone .38 acres located at 131 and 133 North Main Street from general business to central business in order to allow for a mixed-use development of the property, or redevelopment of the property, excuse me. Potential uses include short-term rental, restaurant, office, barbershop, and waxing salon. So looking down to the bottom of the page, the proposal complies with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and is generally compatible with the surrounding area. And so with that, staff's recommendation is for approval pending public hearing, testimony, and discussion tonight. And that's all that I have, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jenny. Commissioners, any questions for staff?
Thank you.
All right, is the applicant here? Anything you would like to add?
We're good with that.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone in the audience tonight that has a question or opposition to this request? All right. Commissioners, we call for a motion, please.
I make the motion to approve the proposed zone map amendment together with the condition upon the general development plan docket number 2026-01Z SG. Based on the testimonies and documents presented in this public hearing, the proposed zoning map amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with the objectives and action items presented by the staff report. Therefore, the proposed zoning map amendment is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan. I further request this motion include the summary of evidence and testimonies presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Is there a second?
Second. Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Ritchie,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks.
Yes.
The motion is approved, and the recommendation will be forwarded to Smiths Grove City Commission. Mr. Steffi, and you all will hear that. Thank you. Our next item tonight is 2026-02 Z County. Carolita and Terry Lindsay have filed an application for zone 5.84 acres located at 601 and 627 Pleasant Hill Road from Ag and RE Residential to RE Residential Estate with the General Development Plan.
Thank you, Chair Warren. I
Rachel?
will point out for your consideration, you should have a revised concept plan, lot layout at your seat. There was a minor change in the lot configuration for lot 25, between lot 24 and 25. So, very minor change, but wanted to point that out for your consideration. This is the current aerial view of the property, and the current zoning is RE and Ag. The land use is single-family residential, and the future land use map is low-density residential. And we have a few property photos that we can reference as needed, and then I'll leave up the preliminary lot layout here. And the applicants are proposing to rezone the property from Ag to RE in order just to simply reconfigure the existing property boundaries. So the structures are not proposed to change, the number of lots is not proposed to change, we're just looking at reconfiguring the property lines. In our review of the application, we found that the proposal complies with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and found the proposal to be compatible with the surrounding area. We only had a couple of items for your consideration, and those are listed on page 2 under natural features. We've noted that mature trees surround the home at 601 Pleasant Hill Road, and the property at 627 Pleasant Hill Road is heavily wooded. Sinkholes are present in the vicinity. During the review process, staff discussed tree preservation and proper sinkhole mitigation with the applicants, and the applicants expressed that they do not wish to encumber the property with any additional restrictions than it already has, and indicated that they do not plan on clearing any of the existing trees, but if someone buys the property in the future, it should be up to that new owner what they would like to do with the trees. And the applicants further indicated that they are not aware of any sinkholes on the property, and that they believe that anyone that might develop the property in the future would take the necessary steps to correct any sinkhole issue. But then if we jump back to page 1, you'll see that our recommendation is for approval, pending public hearing testimony and discussion. Be happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners, any questions for staff? All right. Is the applicant or the representative here, anything y'all like to add? All right. Mr. Lindsay, no, nothing to add. Anybody in the audience tonight has opposition to this request? Hearing none, we'll call for a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve the proposed zoning map amendment together with a condition upon a general development plan docket number 2026-2 Z County. Based upon the testimony and documents presented in this public hearing, the proposed zoning map amendment is consistent with adopted Focus 20 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with objective and action items in staff report. Therefore, the proposed zoning map amendment is in agreement with adopted comprehensive plan. Further, request this motion include a summary of evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion is approved unless a request is made to the legislative body to hear the item. Our next item tonight is 2026-03 Z County. Carolyn Glass has filed an application to rezone 2.2 acres located at 366 HR Whitlock Road from Ag to RR Rural Residential with the General Development Plan. Jenny?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a pre-application meeting on December 3rd for this property on HR Whitlock Road. Current zoning of the property is ag. Current land use is agriculture. It should be single-family residential. And then the future land use map designation is also agriculture. Here are some property photos for your reference. And then here is the zone change concept. The applicant is proposing to rezone 2 acres from ag to RR, rural residential, in order to replace the existing home with a type 1 manufactured home. So looking down to the bottom of the page, the proposal does comply with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and is generally compatible with the surrounding area, and with that, staff's recommendation is for approval pending public hearing testimony and discussion tonight. And that's all that I have, but I'm happy to answer any of the board's commission's questions.
Commissioners, any questions for staff, for Jenny? All right.
Thank you.
Is the applicant here? Anything you all would like to add? Okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone in the audience that has opposition or questions to this request? All right, hearing none, we call for a motion,
I make a
Commissioners.
motion to approve the proposed zoning map amendment together with a condition upon the general development plan, docket number 2026-03Z County. Based upon the testimony and documents presented in this public hearing, the proposed zoning map amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with the objectives and action items presented in the staff report. Therefore, the proposed zoning map amendment is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan. Further, I request that this motion include the summary of evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion is approved and its Planning Commission final action 21 days unless the request is made to the legislative body to hear the item. Our next item tonight is 2026-04 Z County. Asher Sullivan, the applicant, and Albany Farms LLC, care of Wallace Carter, the owner, have filed an application to rezone 4.54 acres located on the north side of Lodge Hill Road, approximately 320 feet west of Kentucky Highway 185 from Ag to RE Residential Estate. Jenny?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a pre-application meeting on November 24th for this property on Lodge Hall Road. Current zoning of the property is agriculture. Current land use is agricultural and vacant. And then future land use map designation is agriculture. Here are some photos of that property. And then here is their zone change concept. The applicants are proposing to rezone 4.54 acres located on Lodge Hall Road from ag to RE residential estate in order to create 4 building lots, shown before you. The proposal complies with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and is generally compatible with the surrounding area, and so staff's recommendation is for approval pending public hearing testimony and discussion tonight. And that's all that I have, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jenny. Commissioners, any questions for staff, for Jenny? Is the applicant here? Anything you would like to add? The applicant? I'm here with all right, thank you, sir. Is there anyone in the audience tonight that has a question or opposition to this request? Commissioners, hearing none, we call for a motion, please.
Make a motion to approve the proposed zoning map amendment together with a condition upon a general development plan, docket number 2026-04 Z County. Based upon the testimony and documents in this public hearing, the proposed zoning map amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with objective and action items in the staff report. Therefore, the proposed zoning map amendment is in agreement with adopted comprehensive plan. Further request this motion include a summary of evidence and testimony presented by the witness at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion is approved. Planning Commission final action in 21 days unless a request is made for the legislative body to hear the item. Our next item tonight is 2026-05 ZBG. Habitat for Humanity of Warren County, Inc. has filed an application for zone 14.29 acres located at 1510 Kentucky Highway 185 from RM4 multifamily residential and PUD Plan Union Development to RS1D single family residential. Amy?
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a pre-application meeting in December for the property that you mentioned, highlighted in red. The current zoning is RM4 in plan use development. The current land use is agriculture, and the future land use is high-density residential. And again, the applicants are proposing to rezone the property to RS1D, which is a single-family residential, in order to develop the site with a maximum of 69 lots. The proposed development will contain a mix of traditional single-family lots and twin homes. We have some property photos. And then here is the zoning exhibit and the concept plan for your review. Looking down to the property history, the Planning Commission approved a flume amendment to high-density residential and a zone change to RM4 and PUD in 2021. Looking at the bottom of the page, we do have one consideration regarding the proposed minimum home size. If we look over to page 3, at the very top, under surrounding architectural features, home sizes in the vicinity range from 760 square feet to 2,023 square feet, with a medium home size of 1,116 square feet. The applicants are proposing a minimum home size of 950 square feet in DPC number 6. This is slightly lower than the median identified for this area. But looking back at page 1, the proposal does comply with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and is generally compatible with the surrounding area. Therefore, the staff recommendation is approval, pending public hearing testimony and any discussion. All we have for staff report. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Amy. Commissioners, any questions for this request for Habitat for Humanity? All right. Is the applicant here? Anything y'all would like to add?
Chairman, things seem to
If you, Ted, if you come to the microphone, please.
Good try.
Tad Pardue, 1010 College Street, I swear to tell the truth.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. Good evening, everybody. I was just going to say that things seem to be running so efficiently and smoothly here. I don't want to break the streak of applicants who don't speak, but I think I wouldn't add anything to what was just presented to you by way of the staff. I did want to point out that some of you might be familiar with this property that have been on the commission for a while. You rezoned it a few years ago, and we're trying to take it back from multifamily to single family. This is a project that Habitat is developing through a community development block grant, disaster recovery fund. It's a combination of federal funds from HUD as well as some money from the city and some other sources, and they're excited about the project to provide affordable housing, additional affordable housing to those in the area that need it. Other than that, unless the commissioners have questions or if there's some opposition, I'll be glad to address it.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Purdue. Is there anyone in the audience tonight has a question or opposition to this request? All right, hearing none, we'll call for a motion, Commissioners.
Motion to approve the proposed zone map amendment together with and condition upon the general development plan document number 2026-05 ZBG. Based on the testimonies and the documents presented in the public hearing, the proposed zone map amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliances with the objectives and action items presented in the staff report. Therefore, the proposed proposed zone map amendment is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan. Further, I request this motion include the summary of evidence and testimonies presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion is approved, and it's planning commission final action in 21 days unless the request is made to the legislative body to hear the item. Our next item tonight is 2026-06 ZBG Bale of Kentucky Family Living Partnership has filed an application to rezone 3.29 acres located northeast corner of Lovers Lane and Ken Bale Boulevard from ag to general business with the general development plan. Amy?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We had a pre-application meeting in November for the property highlighted in red. The current zoning is agriculture. Current land use is agriculture vacant. The future land use is commercial. We have a couple of property photos. Have the zoning exhibit and their concept plan for reference. And again, the applicants are proposing to rezone from agriculture to general business in order to develop the property with a branch bank location for South Central Bank to include a drive-through service. And if we look at the bottom of the page, the proposal complies with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and is generally compatible with the surrounding area. Therefore, the staff recommendation is approval pending public hearing testimony and any discussion. That's all we have for staff report. Happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners, you have any questions?
No, sir.
Does the applicant have anything to add?
Applicants here, we don't have anything else to add.
Is there any opposition or questions for this request?
Hearing none, call for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the proposed zoning map amendment together with and conditioned upon a general development plan, docket number 2026-6 ZBG. Based upon the testimony and documents in this public hearing, the proposed zoning map amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by its compliance with objective and action items presented in the staff report. Therefore, the proposed zoning map amendment is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan. Further request this motion include a summary of evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. Excuse me. It's called cold and flu season.
I can relate to that.
Sir?
I can relate to that.
All right. Our next item tonight is 2026-07 ZBG and 2026 V01 Portal Rentals LLC, care of Avzami Portals, has filed an application to rezone .02217 acres located 11010 Clay Street from light industrial to RM multifamily residential with a general development plan. The applicant has also filed a concurrent variance application requesting a variance of 22 feet from the required 22-foot increased building setback adjacent single-family and a variance of 7 feet from required 10-foot incompatible use landscape buffer. Rachel?
Thank you, Chair Warren. Before I get started, I will mention you have a revised variance motion sheet at your seat. There was a typo on the one in your packet, so if you are so inclined to make a motion on the variance later, please reference the revised sheet at your seat. We had a pre-application meeting back in December for the property at 1101 Clay Street. The application, as you mentioned, involves both a rezoning request to RM4 and a concurrent variance application. And those items are detailed on page 5 of your staff report. There are 2 variances requested, the first being a 22-foot variance from the required 25-foot incompatible use setback. There is a typo on page 5. It says 40 for the requirement, but it should be 25. And then the second variance requested is a 7-foot variance from the 10-foot required land use buffer. The zoning ordinance reference from which the variances are requested is also listed on page 5 for your reference. And then the variance findings that are outlined in KRS 100-243 are also included at the bottom of page 5. And the applicants did supply a narrative that runs on to page 6 to help address those findings. Regarding the zone change, the staff found that the proposal complies with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and found the proposal to be generally compatible with the area. There are a couple of items for your consideration, and those are on page number 2, looking at the layout, lot sizes, and setbacks, and the concept plan is shown on the screen before you. We have just noted that typically the required setback is 25 feet, and the typical land use buffer is 10 feet, and again, the applicants have requested variances for those items. But aside from that, the staff's recommendation is for approval pending public hearing testimony and discussion. Be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ms. Hurd. Commissioners, any questions for staff? All right. The applicant here, their representative, anything you'd like to add, sir? No, okay, thank you. Yeah. Is there anyone in the audience tonight that has a question or opposition to this request? All right, hearing none, we'll call for a motion, Commissioners.
I make the motion to approve the request for the variances presented in the staff report for the property at 1101 Court Street, docket number 2026 V01. The testimony presented at this public hearing has shown that the granting of this variance will not adversely affect the public health, safety, and welfare, will not alter the essential character of the general vicinity, will not cause a hazard or a nuisance to the public, and will not allow an unreasonable circumvention of the requirements of the zoning regulations. Or motion to deny the variance request.
Second.
Thank you, Rick.
Yeah, I've got the second from Volker. Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion's approved. It's Planning Commission final action in 21 days unless requests are made to the legislative body to hear the item.
That variance would be final action and be conditioned upon the motion we now need to read for the zone change.
Excuse
We kind of went a little reverse there, but we think
Yeah,
it'll be fine.
okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed zoning map amendment together with a condition upon a general development plan, docket number 2026-7ZBG, based upon the testimony and documents presented in this public hearing. The proposed zoning map amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan as demonstrated by compliance with objective and action items presented in the staff report. Therefore, the proposed zoning map amendment is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan. Further, request this motion include a summary of evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Peterson. So the variance. Planning Commission final action on the variances. Our next item and last item tonight is Roger and Taylor Schote have filed an application to zone 6.3 acres located at 4179 Freckle Ferry Road from Ag to RE residential estate with the general development plan. Amy?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Let me get there. Okay, we had a pre-application meeting in November for the property in red. The current zoning is agriculture. The current land use is single-family residential, and the future land use is agriculture. Again, the applicant is proposing to rezone from agriculture to RE, which is residential estate, in order to create an additional building lot. The existing home is proposed to remain. Here are a couple property photos. This is the existing home. And then here is the rezoning exhibit for your reference. And looking at the bottom of the page, the proposal complies with the majority of the criteria assessed in the review process and is generally compatible with the surrounding area. Therefore, staff recommendation is approval pending public hearing, testimony, and any discussion. That's all we have for staff report. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Amy. Commissioners, any questions for Amy or staff? Is the applicant here? Anything you would like to add? All right. Is there anyone in the audience tonight that has a question or opposition to this request? All right. Hearing none, the commissioners would call for motion, please.
Make a motion to approve the proposed zoning map amendment together with and condition upon a general development plan document number 2026-8Z County based upon a testimony in the documents in this public hearing. The proposed zoning map amendment is consistent with the adopted Focus 2030 comprehensive plan. It's demonstrated by its compliance with the objective and action items in the staff report. Therefore, the proposed zoning map amendment is in agreement with the adopted comprehensive plan. Further request this motion include a summary of evidence and testimony presented by the witnesses at this public hearing.
Second.
Commissioner Gay,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Shaw,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Starks,
Yes.
Commissioner Vitale,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Volker,
Yes, sir.
Chair Warren.
Yes, sir. The motion is approved, and it's Planning Commission, final action 21 days unless requests are made to the legislative body to hear the item. Mr. Peterson, do we have any old business?
No, sir.
Would you introduce?
Yes, sir. This is Logan Ogletree. He's our new Planner 1. Just started January 5th, and so starting to learn the ropes, but we're glad to have him. And
All right. Logan, get the microphone. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, I'm Logan Ogletree. I'm just started here on the 5th. I fairly recently graduated from the University of Alabama. I'm from Alabama. Moved up here. It's really nice up here. I like it.
You like it?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Bowling Green.
So how did you find out about the Planning Commission?
Well, I was looking through applications, and I saw that there was one from Bowling Green, and I applied to it. Truthfully, is the whole story.
Okay. What were you doing before the Planning Commission?
Before
Besides
this,
being a Roll Tide fan, you got
I worked at Walmart for about 6 months.
Okay.
And then before that, I was in school until December of 24.
Okay. So what was your degree in?
Geography with a minor in public administration or public policy.
Awesome. Great. Well, we're glad to have you and appreciate you being here tonight. Ben, thanks for introducing him. And
Welcome to Bowling Green.
yeah. Got a girlfriend?
Tell us that's first.
I do have a fiance.
Oh, awesome. Good. Okay. All right. Well, we just got to find out a little bit, Ben. Huh? No, just want to know about him. Thank you so much, Logan. Appreciate you answering these personal questions. All right. Anything else tonight? All right. Hearing nothing else, we stand.
Is our next meeting is the training, right?
Probably.
At 5?
Thank you, yeah.
5 instead of 5?
5 o'clock, yes, instead of 5:30, and we will have food. At our office, yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you all. If you don't speak to me again, I understand why.